Alright guys, I got my hair washed. Um, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now this one hurts, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So, so, I was just moving that towel because it's got shampoo residue on it. I don't want him smelling that or breathing it in. So, Stone Cold started out as Stunning Steve Austin in WCW, was in ECW for a little bit. He became Stone Cold Steve Austin at WWF. His wife at the time, I think Deborah, yeah, it was Deborah Austin, said he had coffee and he hadn't drank it yet, and she said, she said, Steve, hurry up and drink your coffee before it gets stone cold. So his name is Steve Austin, and then he added the Stone Cold moniker from her. So he became Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stunning Steve Austin was only WCW and ECW. And then when he was Stunning Steve, he had the hair and everything. And then Stone Cold, he shaved his hair to have a tougher look, which worked. The golden chain that he always wore was one of his best friend Brian Pillman bought him that for his birthday, I believe. And Brian died from something I can't remember at a young age. Brian Pillman, the wrestler. Him and another dude, like the Flying Bryans, are really good. Kind of like, I think the Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels back in the 80s. So that's where he got the gold chain from. He had the hoop earring just like MJ did. He just happened to have the hoop earring. Cover that up so she don't swat him. Let me see. And he was doing a program in wrestling. It was like you do like a series of matches that are scripted and everything with another wrestler until you finish the whole thing, like watching a TV series. And then you go on to another program with another wrestler. And it usually always has like an angle to where it's like, you know, you play the good guy, you play the bad guy, and you get mad when I talk about your girlfriend because I said she's fat, and then that type of thing. Basically just like a soap opera like Grey's Anatomy or something. It's all scripted, but sometimes it isn't. And so he was in a program with Jake the Snake Roberts, and I don't know if he actually is Christian or not, but they were playing the Man of Faith card with Jake the Snake Roberts being like the baby face, which means like the good guy, and Stone Cold was the heel, which means like the bad guy in wrestling terms. And he said Jake the Snake Roberts, you quote your Psalms in John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. Damn, am I bleeding? I am bleeding. Why am I bleeding? What have I done? Ouch. I don't know how the hell I started bleeding. That's weird. Let me He's itching overall. Sorry, I just keep itching for some reason. I don't know why. I had hand sanitizer down here. I have an equalizer, but not sanitizer. Y'all know what an equalizer is. A firearm. Why do they call it a firearm? Isn't that funny? Maybe it isn't funny. I'm trying to find the sanitizer. Well, anyways, just saw the thing. It's like I'm like really itching, kind of bad. What the heck happened to it? Oh, there it is. And so after that, ironically, after that, that promotion, or that, so the Austin 3:16, John 3:16 set thing was totally made up off on the spur of the moment. Personally, I don't think Stone Cold is like a devil worshiper or nothing per se. I don't think that there was anything personal at Jesus or God or nothing, or at Christians. But I do think that the spirits behind it, because Vince McMahon is a 33rd degree Freemason, there was definitely some behind the scenes weirdness going on, which if you haven't figured out by now, all the wrestlers that have died from Vince McMahon have all been sacrifices to Satan to sell merchandise, sell tickets, idol worship. And if you're a wrestling fan, I don't know why I'm itching so bad. If you're a wrestling fan, then you know that there's absolutely no idol worshiper in this world worse than not even, if you think football and basketball is bad, no. That's nothing. It's literally nothing compared to wrestling fans. Not even World of Warcraft fans. And I'm both. Wrestling fans will travel from Japan to America and sit out for a whole month or something in line to see John Cena wrestle at WrestleMania versus The Rock, because it's a once in a lifetime match, even though it wasn't. That is idolatry at its finest, but they won't even thank God for their kid they just had or something, see? Okay. So, so idol worship with that, yeah. And then the main thing that actually caught my eye wasn't the John 3:16, was the raise some hell. Like, raise hell, oh hell yeah. And it's like, I thought about it, and then I thought about Hellraiser in horror movies. I was like, what does Hellraiser do? He raises hell? Like demons and bad spirits. or the spirit of the Antichrist. The opposite of God. All the seven deadly sins was on WWF Attitude Era every night between WWF and also WCW as competitor. Even though they're all in the same, they all serve Satan, so there is no competitors. There's God's team and Satan's team. So, yeah. But there's definitely something to be said of the most significance that immediately after, knowingly or unknowingly, that he said that statement, haphazardly or ad-lib. And you can tell in wrestling when they're ad-libbing something, and he 100% was ad-libbing it. And Stone Cold has always struck me as a straightforward person. So I could definitely see him doing something like that. I've never seen him have any Freemason or satanic stuff or whatever, like that he's done. So if you have anything, I'd like to see it. But the point is I'm not defending him. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm just saying that being a lifelong fan and watching his whole career, I would have noticed something. And I can't recall something at the top of my head, which is a good sign that they're just, an employee. Because not everybody that's associated with people that do bad things are doing bad things too. On the same hand, though, him and Vince are... Well, no, he left WWE after Brock Lesnar got there because of some other stuff. So actually, yeah, him and Vince are kind of wishy-washy, to be honest, actually, now that I think about it. Now, I didn't notice that Hulk Hogan has like a Freemason ring on. Never noticed that. It's one he would wear a lot in his pictures in the 80s with the Mega Powers with Macho Man. And then they had mentioned him and Macho Man did a promo, or like when we make the Twin Towers fall. And I think they were talking about like the Bushwhackers or some tag team, that they were some tall, big guys. So in the context is there, but the reference to that is always in like The Simpsons and all the other things. There's the thing with Iron Man, whether it's a thing hitting a tower, the cartoon, all over the place. And they believe, since they put the stuff out in the public, that absolves them of they won't go to hell and be punished for their sins, because if they told us over and over ahead of time and we didn't stop it or speak out against it, which is ironic that they claim that that's what they believe from Satan, when it's all subliminal anyway. So anyways, that Stone Cold, that's really just the John 3:16 thing and raise some hell. But if you look at his few matches before Jake the Snake Roberts, watch the Jake the Snake match in the promo, and then watch the very next 3 matches after that, and you'll see how fast it changed. And so yeah, that's Stone Cold. Just to be clear, I love Stone Cold, always have. I don't, personally, I don't think he's a Satan worshiper or really anything other than an employee. But if anybody has evidence to the contrary, I'd love to see it, and I'll point that out as well. I'm just making a point that just because somebody, works around for a company of bad people doesn't mean that all the employees are bad. It's the same way a lot of people say they're Christian and they love the Lord, but their hearts are far from Him. So the first video we got Michael Jordan, second video we got Stone Cold. So we got basketball, we got wrestling. I might do Tom Brady next. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna get take a break here for a second and rest my eyes. I'll think up another video. So yeah.